And there's a range of bad things that actually happen to our bodies when we sit in a chair all day. And the simplest thing to start with is simply that we are not using our legs. And it's very simple. If you don't use it, you lose it. So when we don't using our legs, we're not walking around. That basically means that we lose the strength in our legs, but we can also lose muscle mass. But this not only causes that we lose strength and muscle mass, but can also cause various other problems. So, for example, most people will probably have underdeveloped hamstring, glutes, and hip raises. And these muscles we use actually when we are going to stop or we are walking backwards. But as we are, for most part, walking forward, then it's only our calves, our quads that are getting trained. And when we have muscles that are quite weak, that will actually create a circumstance where our muscle can become quite tight. So that means our glutes, our hamstring can be over tightened very easily because they're not strong enough. And it might seem counterintuitive that you will think that, okay, if you train your muscle, then they will get tight. But there is also the other point, if they're too weak, then they will get very quickly tight. And it's kind of a conditioning of the muscle that the more you train it, the more it can also resist before it become too tight. And this is also why a guy like toe over knee guy has got very popular, because a lot of people dealing with knee pain and have multiple knee surgeries that don't really help them. And what it actually comes down to is not that they have a problem with the knee, but with a problem with all the muscles around the knee because they are too weak. So what he basically specializing in is that he focuses on all the opposite muscles in your legs, which is the hamstring, the glutes, and the hip raises, with exercises as dragging a sled backwards, that you're walking backwards, that you train your hip raises, that you do the Nordic curl for your hamstring. And these exercises really help you conditioning your muscle in the legs to be more solid and get the strength back. And in that way, you will also support your knee. And for a lot of people, it has helped them to avoid knee pain. It has helped them to deal with knee pain and also avoid operations. It's of course not a one size fit all for everyone, but it works for a lot of people. So, going back to when we get over tight hamstring and glutes, what happens when we get a muscle or multiple muscles that are over tight? It will lead to some sort of pain, but usually the pain is never in that area. So if you are very tight glutes and you are tight hamstring, then you actually feel it as a lower back pain. So that means that you have to start working on your glutes and your hamstring, not stretching it, but actually start like working the muscle, do exercises, and then after also do some stretching. And it's just simply due to a lack of activity, and that can also make us gain more excessive weight. That as we're not moving as much, we are not really burning the calories that we are taking in. And when we gain more weight, it also have health consequences. So we can get diabetes, that can result in heart diseases and all kinds of other diseases. So it's just become this spiral of worse and worse conditioning or health problems. But it can also lead to a bad posture that can impact of course our spine and give us this forward neck where you push your head forward. And it can be very bad for our whole nervous system and other things, or other system in our body, as our spine and our hips is the foundation of our body and is where everything is controlled.